2 minutes till the start of the half.
As runners step up to the starting line, the course may look the same, but the journey getting to the finish line is very different.
And off.
Having an optimistic approach can positively alter even the toughest races. Every stride that Kendra Brouwer takes gets her one step closer to reaching her goals.
The year that I turned 30, I made a list of 30 things that I wanted to do the year I turned 30. And one of them was to wear out a pair of running shoes. I did like a couch to 5K app where you like run a little, walk a little, run a little, walk a little. You know, it kind of builds, and so it helps get you to some endurance and stuff. It wasn't until 2017 that I decided that I was going to run the Sioux Falls Half Marathon for the first time.
In January 2020, Brouwer would lean on her endurance and add 2 goals that weren't on the original list, as she took on her hardest race yet.
I was diagnosed with stage 3 breast cancer, and that kind of changes the plan of things. You definitely don't write things like survive cancer and not die and all those things on your goal list. I did chemotherapy, I had a double mastectomy surgery, I did 30 rounds of radiation, then I had another surgery in December to remove my ovaries.
After an extremely difficult year, filled with treatments and perseverance, Brouwer slowed her pace to recover. But just when she began to see the light at the end of the challenging road, another obstacle would stop her in her tracks.
February 3rd, I stopped breathing in my sleep. Then I was in the ICU for 4 days in an induced coma and on ice so that my body wouldn't be traumatized by the lack of oxygen.
Brouwer suffered cardiac arrest. After regaining consciousness a few days later, she underwent surgery
to put an internal defibrillator in so that if something like this ever happened again, I wouldn't need the paramedics to shock my heart. Again, not something that I was really planning on. Pretty much a surprise for everybody.
Feeling the impact mentally, Brouwer focused on the marathon that was the recovery process.
I had tons of support and I had lots of people in my corner. I'm so grateful for that because it really offered me the time to rest. I don't like to be the one that has to ask for help. That's hard for me, but I've gotten a lot better at doing that. And if you don't force yourself to slow down a little bit when you need it, something will happen that forces you to.
You're doing amazing. Nice job. You're doing great. You got this.
Putting one foot in front of the other, Brouwer then worked on her comeback physically.
When you stay physically active, when you eat well, when you emphasize rest and refueling and filling your cup and all of these kind of self-care things that I think are super, super important, you come back from that stuff faster or better. As soon as I was able,
Good job, Mommy.
I wanted to start. My husband's like, why is running so important to you? And I was like, you know what? I don't really know, other than it's something that I can just do.
Keep it up. Proud of you. Come on, kiddos.
Okay, last bout. Okay.
Enter the Sanford Run Project. The program takes applications and selects one runner every year to sponsor for the Sioux Falls Half Marathon. That runner receives top-of-the-line coaching, nutrition planning, and recovery management, and is chosen to represent the running community because of their positive impact. For many, Brouwer was the perfect candidate.
I'm part of the Sioux Falls Women Run training team, and one of our coaches sent out an email one day that, hey, Sanford is looking for somebody who wants to run a race, who wants to be kind of the spokesperson And so I filled out the application.
Kendra's journey and long-standing history with the Sioux Falls Half Marathon put her ahead of the pack when it came to selection.
Being able to train with coach, with a strength and conditioning coach, with an athletic trainer who helps me with muscle recovery and injury prevention and all of that stuff. I feel so spoiled. I call it like I have like a pit crew. It's been more than I could do on my own. I'm 37. I have 2 kids. I have been through a lot of stuff in the last 18 months and all of that. I was like, this is a different version of me.
The race remains the same, but Kendra's list has changed. As she crosses this year's finish line, she'll cross off 2 more goals: conquering her comeback and inspiring others to once again find their stride.
You know, I want to represent people who are cancer survivors. I want to represent people who have heart disease and let my story and my comeback and my run and all of that stuff just encourage you to take care of yourself. I would say that I have definitely worn out a couple of pairs of running shoes since then. I'm my best version of me right now, and I'm really proud of that, and I hope that people just can be inspired.
Thanks for being here.
And joined by Elena Lanson, and an inspiring story. This is awesome, and I can't imagine what she has gone through. I mean, I don't know if anybody can, but some people say it gives them focus. What has that been for Kendra?
What she's gone through is more than most people can handle in a lifetime, and she's done it over the last 2 years. The biggest thing of all, she is involved heavily in all aspects of her life. She's a mother, she's a wife, she has her own business with yoga and massage therapy, and she's also a big part of the Sioux Falls running community, which we just saw a little bit there. She's so involved, and what she does with that, she pours herself into everything. What she's learned through the last 2 years, she really needs to pour into herself in self-care and really work on the health and mental aspect and kind of give herself a break sometimes. So that's probably the biggest thing she's learned over the last 2 years, and taking on more than anybody, like I said, could probably handle.
And she's trying to share that with her clients now, the things that she's learned, right?
Yes, absolutely. She's trying to teach them to fill their cup just like she is now. She said she tries to take a little portion of her week, whether it's a busy week, busy schedule, just a little bit of time for herself, trying to fill that cup, like I said, pour back into herself, and she's sharing that with her clients and hoping they'll do the same.
All right, appreciate it. Thanks a lot, Elena Lanson.
This has been Midco Sports Magazine, presented by Build Your Base with Beef Sports Nutrition and Training Program.